Folks, today we're gonna be treating our brand new traps. We got the Duke 550s. Sorry this is loud, so I'm gonna talk loud, but anyway, we got the Duke 550s brand new. You need to boil them, wax them, and dye them. We're gonna do all three today. So I'm gonna do these brand new ones. We're gonna get that water to a rolling boil. And then I got these from last year that I was be ashamed of myself because when I just pulled them up out of the ground, I just left them and they got all nasty. So I'm gonna boil them, wire brush them, the whole nine, right? First, we're gonna get that to a rolling boil and we're gonna start boiling. Get this party started. As y'all can see, got a lovely stack of firewood here. So as these are boiling in between, it takes a little bit of time. So I'm gonna keep busting firewood because winter is right around the corner. That being said, trapping season starts November the 1st, so that's why we're getting these traps ready. Today is October the 11th, so we got about 2 weeks or so before trapping season rolls around. We got to get things ready. Like I say, while I'm waiting on my water to get to a rolling boil, I'm just going to take my wire brush and kind of at least bump some of that rust off. I ought to be ashamed of myself letting these traps get like that. But, you know, we had an ice storm last year during trapping season and just things happen, you know? So you got to make preparations. If you want to have a good trapping season, you got to make the preparation needed for it to be a good trapping season, you know what I mean? So, and we in between deer hunts too. I hunted this morning and God willing, I'm gonna be able to hunt this afternoon and hopefully get y'all a deer on film as well. So, I think I'm running out of gas. We're gonna have to swap bottles. But anyway, I'm gonna go through all these traps like this right here just with this wire brush and try to break loose 90% of the rust and get her back down to the metal somewhat. All right, as you can see, we got that to a nice rolling boil. We're gonna cut the heat. And we're gonna let all of them, I don't have but 10 traps out here. I'm gonna get all 10 of them set in there and soaking real quick. And then we're gonna take them out, let them dry, brush them off, and then we're gonna start the waxing. You're gonna repeat this boiling process at least twice, sometimes 3 times, just your personal preference. But anyway, I'm gonna get the boiling part done because you understand what's happening. We're just boiling the traps, right? We're gonna take them out. We're gonna swap over to the wax and we're gonna start waxing. Y'all just hang tight. Let me show y'all my little setup here in the back strap right quick. So here's what I got. Some people take a table and they'll screw screws in it to hang their traps, but you wanna hang them like that so they can dry. Excuse all my mess out here. This is just my wood pile. That's where I stack my wood at. So that's kind of messed out. That's tarp I covered up with. But anyway, y'all get the point. You want screws for every one of them. Like I said, a lot of people take a table or something like that and they'll screw screws down along the side of it and hang them off from a table. That way they can put their stuff on the table, the extra traps, or the traps that ain't been done yet or whatever, and they can hang the ones that are drying from the table. But anyways, these have been boiled. We finna get our wax rocking and knocking here. Odorless trap wax. I'm gonna use 2 blocks of it. May not need but 1 block, but this stuff is reusable every year, year after year after year, because you melt it down and when it cools down, it hardens again in that pan. So use a pan that you only are gonna use do your wax in to start this. This is my first time doing it, so I got a fairly new pan. Got this out of a yard sale, just so that I didn't pay a whole lot for it. I think I gave $5 for it, something like that. I don't know, but anyway, went and got me some odorless trap wax yesterday from the co-op. We finna get them waxed up. Whoo, y'all, I about done messed it up. We're not gonna wax first. I got to thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute, if I put the wax on them traps first, then the dye ain't gonna stick to them because that wax is kind of water resistant. So backtrack just a little bit. We're gonna dye them first. So this is my dye. Gives you good direction on that. We're using logwood trap dye is all it is. It's just gonna dye them like a real dark black color. I know it looks brown. It's not gonna be brown. Once they dye, they're gonna be black. But anyway, it does 2 to 3 dozen small traps or 1 to 2 dozen big traps. I only got 10, so 1 pack will do it. It says bring to boiling point, cut the heat off and let it sit for approximately 1 hour. So we're gonna get this started and we're gonna let them sit for an hour while I bust some more firewood. So let's get this rolling. All right, she's almost at a rolling boil. She's starting to bubble down at the bottom, so we're gonna go ahead and add our dye, get it all stirred up. Had a stirring stick around here. There it is. Get it all mixed up in there real good, like an old witch's brew. The key is you want your traps to get the same temperature as your dye and your wax. That way it holds on to it, holds that heat in there, and it'll hold on to it. It'll stick a lot better. That's why you gotta let them sit in there and let that dye really soak in. Same thing with the wax. With the wax, you only have to keep them in the wax long enough for the traps to get the same temperature as the wax is. When you pick it up, it'll drip off like water and be clear instead of white. Glad I remembered you got to do your dye first, otherwise the dye won't stick good if you wax the trap first. I'm gonna go ahead and put the traps in there, but I'm gonna continue to let this come to a rolling boil, and that'll give the traps a chance to go ahead and start heating up. Now, they're all completely submerged. I'm gonna let that come to a rolling boil, and then we're gonna cut the heat. All right, there's the old dye. There's the firewood getting stacked. The old wife is over there putting that wife to work, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I was saying, that doggone powder is brown, and somehow it dyes the traps black. But they took real well. You can tell those are brand new ones. Those was the ones from last year. Took a little better. Now we're finna get this wax rolling. We're gonna dump that out and get that wax rolling. Y'all hold tight. All right, now we're gonna go in with this odorless trap wax. Get this fire going again. Look at it, very, very, very important not to overheat the wax, because it'll scorch it, and then it smells like burnt scorched wax. So you want to heat it up, keep the heat going. That last little bit. Turn the flame down so it don't melt too fast. You want to keep the heat to it just until that last little bit of wax melts in there, and then you want to turn it off. See, it's melting down. Once that last piece gets done melting, turn the heat off, and then you just dip your traps in there until it reaches the same temperature as the wax. That'll way to stick. When you pick them up, you want it to drip off like water. You don't want it to be white. All right, so that last little piece finally just melted. I'm gonna kill the heat. And almost ain't deep enough. I'm gonna have to let it sit on one side and then flip her over and put the bottom side in there. Ain't no big deal though. One trap at a time. See how it runs off just like water? That's about how long it takes. It don't take long. And that's how you put the wax on there. All right. Got that last Duke 550 coming out of that wax. Successfully dyed and waxed. And again, you can reuse that wax over and over and over again, because when it cools, it'll harden again in that pot. And then all you got to do the next time is just add a little bit of wax to it. And then, like I say, I put screws in this light post. You see how they're all dyed and waxed. And Hung up here. We got some more wood busting stacked while we was waiting. You want to allow yourself, how many is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's only 7 traps. And it took me about 4 hours total time with my setup. Now, if you can get bigger pots with more chemical, more water, more dye, more wax, things like that, you can probably do 6 to 8 in each pot if you have a bigger setup. I'm small time. I only have about 15 traps total. So that's about half of them right there. And then I'll do the other half later on. But that's how I dye and wax my traps. Now we're ready for the season. I already had a couple of customers call. I got a bobcat lady want me to come get, and another guy, he had some guineas and his kittens come up missing because of coyotes. So that's why I'm trying to hurry up and get this ready, because as soon as November the 1st hits, we ready to roll. Hey, I appreciate y'all staying with me through that whole process. It can be a lengthy process, you know. Like I said, this thing got hot out here. But anyways, that's how we do it here at Out Here Outdoors. Hey, if you like what you see, you enjoy the content, that sort of thing, you want to see some trapping, some hunting, I'm gonna go back hunting here in about an hour. I'm gonna get back in the deer stand for this afternoon's hunt. But while I was waiting, figured I'd do some honeydews and some trappy-doos and get the traps ready. While I'm doing the honeydew, getting that wood stacked up and split and all that stuff for this winter, we got about another month before we start burning wood, so obviously I got a lot of work to do. But we finna hit the woods here in about an hour or so. Y'all stay tuned for that video. Might be some action in that one too, I don't know. But anyway, that's how I dye and wax my traps and get ready for the season. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you do, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. That way every time I post a video, we finna get into trapping season. Probably gonna be a video every other day with trapping coyotes, bobcats, raccoons, beavers, everything. We gonna get into it. Y'all just stay tuned. Appreciate y'all. Out Here Outdoors.